right, today we're not actually going to do any real complete multiplication. We're kind of like estimating. We're comparing the factors and the products, and I'll remind you what that means. So here's our big question. How does the size of a factor affect the size of a product? And right now you might be thinking, well, if only I knew what a factor and a product were, Ms. Foster. Well, the thing is, you should already know, okay? A factor, I'll come back to that. A factor is the number being multiplied, right? So you have at least two factors because you have a number and another number you're multiplying. So maybe you have two, maybe you have three factors. But the factors are the numbers that are being multiplied, and the product is the answer to a multiplication problem, okay? You need to speak this language. This is crucial. Otherwise, math will always be confusing for you if you don't learn the language. Okay, now let's go back to this little tip here. A number times 1 is itself. We've talked about this. You know that. A number times 1 is itself. A number times less than 1 is less than itself. Do you see how that makes sense? If a number times 1 stays the same or keeps its identity, then a number times less than 1 is going to be less than its original self. And conversely, a number times more than 1 is more than itself. Okay? Let's have a little look-see here at these examples. So here you have 3/4 times 1/3, and that equals 3/12. So 3/4 is a factor, 1/3 is a factor, because those are the numbers being multiplied, and the product of those two being multiplied is 3/12. I know it's not simplified, but there you go. Here's another one. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 is a factor, 4 is a factor, 8 is the product. Okay, you need to remember this. So here's the kind of stuff we're going to be doing. Okay, remember factors and products, and remember this reality, really. Anything times 1 is itself, anything times less than 1 is less than itself, anything times more than 1 is more than itself. So, for example, here's the kind of question you'll get. Will the product be equal to, less than, or greater than 1? And I want you to remember these symbols, okay? Equal to, less than, or greater than 1. Right? You read these from left to right. I read this sign from left to right. I see the pointy part first. That means this number is less than this number. The number on this side of the symbol is less than the number on this side of the symbol. Read this one. From left to right, you see the big Pac-Man's eating. That's the first thing you get to when you go from left to right. So that means this number on this side is greater than the number on this side. Okay? So let's say I have 3/4 of a box of cereal. Now, you already know that of means multiply in math. So if I'm saying I have 3/4 of a box of cereal, I have 3/4 of what? Of a box? What numbers are being multiplied? Think. What numbers are being multiplied? 3/4 of a box of cereal. 1. Right? 1 box. A box. So now think, what number am I comparing the product to? Okay, I don't have a product yet. I don't know what the product will be. But that's okay because I don't have to actually figure it out. But I do know that the question is asking me, will the product be equal to, less than, or greater than 1? So what number am I comparing the product to? Which factor am I comparing? And I'll find that information in the question. See, here's the question. Will the product be greater than, equal to, or less than 1? So I'm comparing the product that I don't know to the number 1. Will this be greater than 1? Will this be less than 1? Will this be more equal to 1? I don't know. Look at the other factor. Will the other factor, this one, make the product greater than, less than, or equal to the first factor? So there's a lot of going back and forth here. It's a lot of critical thinking, okay? But it's really not that complicated. I'm doing 3/4 times 1. The question is asking me, will the product be greater than, less than, or equal to 1? Well, what am I multiplying 1 by? I'm multiplying 1 by a number that is less than 1. So if I multiply a number by less than 1, then my product will be less than 1. Less than. Okay? let's keep going. No freaking out, okay? No freaking out. All right, let's try this. Will the product be greater than, less than, or equal to 4? So I have to think. 3/4 of 4 boxes of cereal. Step number 1. What numbers are being multiplied? Right? Was that step number 1? I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Yeah, what numbers are being multiplied? Okay. 3/4 of 4 boxes. Okay, so that's 3/4 of 4. Next thing I need to think is, what am I supposed to be comparing the product to? The product is going to equal something. I don't know what that something will be, and I don't need to know. The only thing I need to know is, will it be greater than, less than, or equal to 4? Okay, so I'm going to look at the 4, and I'm going to do step number 3, which is compare what does the other factor do to this factor? If I multiply this factor times this factor, will my answer be greater than, less than, or equal to 4? Here's the 4. I'm multiplying it by a number that is less than 1. So will my answer be greater than, less than, or equal to 4? If I multiply 4 times 1, I get 4. If I multiply 4 times less than 1, I will get less than 4. So this will be less than 4, because I'm not multiplying it by a whole 1. I'm multiplying it by something less than 1. So it will be, the answer, or the product, will be less than 4. Okay, let's try this one. Miss Foster and her kids only have a half a box of cereal. Aw, that happens more often than I'd like to admit. They ate 3/4 of the 1/2 box. They ate 3/4 of the half a box. So they have a half of a box, and they ate 3/4 of that half box. Will the product be greater than, less than, or equal to 1/2? Think. What numbers are you multiplying together? They ate 3/4 of half a box. Okay? 3/4 of half a box will equal some amount. I don't know. I don't care. All I care about right now is, will it be greater than, less than, or equal to 1/2? So I'm supposed to compare the product to 1/2. If I'm multiplying 1/2 times 1, I'll get 1/2. If I multiply 1/2 times something less than 1, I'm going to get something less than 1/2. So the answer will be less than 1/2. Gosh, I hope this is making sense to you, because that's the end of the examples. It really is just a matter of looking at the number they tell you to look at, think about what it's being multiplied by, and then determining, will the product be more than the original number, or will it be less than the original number, or will it be the same as the original number? So we're going to go over that together in class. Yeah, it'll be fine.